Yo, so I think we should take our advice more often, our own advice. So I feel that when we're trying to make a tough decision or just generally day to day choices, there is either this intuitive sense deep within that truly knows what's right, but that can become clouded by incessant thinking of what society or what other people online think or what certain family members may think. And if you deliberate too much on this sort of intuitive sense disappears. So I think you should trust it as it comes, this feeling deep within your heart. You may be very close to your family members and friends and get on with them incredibly well, but still they do not see your goals and dreams and your life from your perspective. And because your family may want to care for you deeply, if you are asking them for advice, they may opt for the less risky decision that you put forward to them. I think this can be useful in many cases, and I think it's still important to get advice from friends and family. And if you're in a dark place, it's very important to reach out and talk to them. But I also think it can be dangerous in terms of following the life you truly want to lead. Because if it is something outside of the norm, you're not following the status quo. And if family and friends are following the life that you do not wish to lead, not saying it's negative or anything, they've just chosen that path. But they will not understand fully where you're coming from if you suggest something that's a bit more risky and completely alternative and different to things you've done in the past. But if you truly have this deep, profound feeling of that's the direction you want to go, their advice may not serve you in the way that your own advice could. And I do think this is very important because if we want to have an abnormal life, we have to do abnormal things. And to create that uniqueness, you must follow these odd, strange ideas that just spring up as if they've been fed direct from the source of the universe. And I've dealt with this many times, as I'm sure you have, and everyone in the world has, basically. But yeah, like I said, like I'll go to a parent or a close friend and propose something to them that I've been pondering over and ask for their advice. And I would have, like I said, intuitively decided the instant I was mulling over this in my mind which way to go, and the advice that a family member or parent given to me has contradicted that. But because I trust and look up to these people, it almost like changes that concept and you rationally accept their advice and you go along with that decision instead. And I'm sure you've felt this before, but something just feels empty and something truly feels like it's missing when you've taken that path over the path that sort of gave you this deep euphoria when you visualized it in your mind. So yeah, I just think basically take your own advice more often. And this obviously doesn't apply to addictive behaviours like, oh, I'm going to go take loads of coke tonight and get fucked up. But I think deep down you probably know that even if you really do want to do that, that's not deep down what your intuitive sense wants to do anyway. So I think this applies outside of the addictive mindset, because if you're an addictive person like I have been heavily in the past, your intuitive sense will just be to get fucked or smoke loads of cigarettes or drink, and that's obviously not going to yield good things for you. But I do think even if you're in that addictive state, if you pause, you can sense that deep intuition that's telling you to remove yourself from that kind of behaviour and habitual addiction. So yeah, I just think all the people we look up to or see as incredible people in history have gone their own way and ignored what everyone has said and have been completely on the fringe. So I think if you have an idea that is similar to that, that seems so out of the norm, you should just go for it anyway. Because even if you do fail on your pursuit, one, you'll feel good because you went ahead with that intuitive sense. But also, you'll learn from it regardless if you failed. Whereas I think, as I was saying earlier, if you take the advice that deeply you know is not right, you will just naturally feel more empty on the pursuit of that thing, because you're just doing what the external world thinks is correct rather than what your heart and your gut are telling you is correct through your nervous system, and you literally feel it, like that gut feeling or that feeling in your heart, like your body knows a long, long time before your mind. So yes, I hope that this information finds you well and that you can utilise it to create a more wholesome and peaceful existence. So peace out, friend, and I will speak to you soon.